Well, welcome back. As I mentioned in the last video, I wanted to take a little bit of time, more specifically to talk about developing a 30-second commercial or an elevator speech. It's something that anyone who is developing a client base where you're out networking and bumping into people and reconnecting with them that could be potential prospects for the industry that you're working in. It is definitely something that you want to give some forethought to and practice it so that it sounds very conversational and very natural. And ultimately, it is your answer to the question, so what are you doing these days, or what are you up to? What you don't want to be doing is giving them a title because they can get your title off of your business card. And quite frankly, giving them a title is just putting you in the same category as everybody else that is in your industry. So let's talk about some key principles, what it is that some do's and things that you should be taking into consideration when developing your 30-second commercial. So first off, keep in mind that it isn't sales pitchy. You don't at this stage want to be discussing prices or products. You want to try to just make a personal connection with the person at this point. So pushing too hard too soon will only cause the other person to lose interest in the conversation. You get that sort of deer in the headlight look. So the next thing would be focus on major principles or points. Concentrate on the main point that's relevant to your listener. What do you want them to remember most about the conversation later on? Keep it simple, keep it short. Concentrate on the big, easy to digest concepts that are easy to remember. Don't include anything that might need to be written down. In other words, if they got to take notes based on the response that you're giving them, then obviously you're getting way into depth into some of the different things that you're discussing at this point. Lead with your best stuff. Grab their attention. Start with your strengths. What are in everyday terms is your profession? What are your areas of expertise? And what most importantly is what sets you apart from other people that are doing the same thing? The next item would be focus on your listener. Talk about the benefits that you offer, but at the same time, what in turn can you offer them? What will you be able to do for them? Remember, your goal is to speak with the other person, but not at them. Okay. Be clear, be understood. Be careful not to use confusing buzzwords and complicated acronyms. Every industry has these things, and it basically just tunes the other person out. So don't listen to list off a bunch of facts. Your goal is to encourage questions, and at the same time get a further contact. Now, and on a high note, always include something positive at the end of your commercial, a tagline, a slogan, or a joke. Now, be careful, make sure the joke's not tacky. I personally am not good at jokes, so therefore I tend to shy away from them. But certainly something that's going to, kind of remember the conversation. Use your name at the end, versus at the beginning. It will help, it stick in their mind, especially when you're being introduced to them for the first time. Obviously, you don't have to do that if you're dealing with someone that you're reconnecting with that already knows who you are. And then speak it out loud before you write it down. It's a lot easier to write a spoken speech than it is to speak a written speech. So think about what you need to include in your commercial and then try to deliver it out loud. Refine it as needed and, of course, practice. And then lastly, have several commercials. You should be saying things that are different, different to different audiences. Catch their attention, show them that the value that you offer, and then, of course, highlight some of the most relevant expertise for each group. Now, in saying that, I just want to, I do want to mention though that don't go talking about how you're the most experienced person or that you only deal with people in a certain specific industry, especially if you don't, because it won't take them long to be able to challenge you on that. So So let's just kind of review some of the key points. I mean, the first thing is ensure that it isn't sales pitchy. Focus on the major principles or points you want to get across. Keep it simple and keep it short. Lead with your best stuff, right? Focus on your listener. Be clear and make sure you're understood. And on a high note, so that something for them to remember. Use your name at the end if necessary. Speak it before you write it so that you can practice it, and then have several commercials. So hopefully this will give you some ideas. If you're interested in a template for this, I do have one available for download on my website. And you'll see that further in the link here. You can click on that and go to the website and download that PDF, and that'll give you some ideas on what type of things that you should be looking at putting in there, and what kind of questions you could ask yourself as you're writing this out. Also, be sure to subscribe to my channel if you're interested in getting more information on building a client base. I'm hoping to grow the list of videos as time goes on in different topics. If you've got any questions or if you got any comments, of course, I'll certainly try to respond to those. And if you've got some ideas on maybe some other topics that you'd like to cover, please share those also. So until next time, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and continue to build one client at a time.